Only 9 days remaining until the official Cybertruck delivery event, which according to Tesla executives is only going to be 10 Cybertrucks delivered, and most likely all to employees that have signed NDAs. So I'm just trying to taper everyone's expectations now that we're in the single-digit countdown era. But with all that being said, I got a whole lot more hyped yesterday because a random Weibo account, which is a Chinese-based social media, which is bizarre because all the Cybertruck prototypes are all in the United States. Only a couple have gone to Canada and Mexico, but I'm still guessing these are either media pictures from Tesla themselves, and someone leaked them earlier and was hoping that by posting them on Weibo, not as many people would notice, or it's possible that a review channel that was not supposed to release these pictures yet sent them to someone, and then that person sent them to someone else, and went down the ladder and a few people posted them online. I don't know how they got posted, but they're out, and they give us our best look yet at the interior, the exterior, and may I just add, it is so dang refreshing after so many years of covering the Cybertruck where we had to see everything from far away, blurry, pixelated, never got that sharp of an image, and we always had to speculate on what this little grayed out icon was. But now, seeing them in full quality, full resolution, taken with a real camera, it's just so refreshing, honestly. It looks so great, and now that Tesla is even putting these banner ads outside of showrooms giving away Cybertruck specs, it makes me think, what, guys, why don't you just update the website already? Why don't we just refresh Tesla's Cybertruck page with some updated pictures, some updated videos, some concrete specs? That's probably going to be a more official way to unveil whatever the range numbers are rather than do it at the delivery event. I think it'd be best to get expectations in check, but they would rather everything leak because obviously Tesla doesn't know how to keep a secret. But on the main interior shot, we can see the massive 18-inch display inside the Cybertruck and showcasing how basically the whole side of the truck takes up almost the entire display. We have this kind of terrain style grid that the Cybertruck is driving around in, and what I really like about this user interface, which I haven't really seen before, is it shows the maps in the top right corner kind of blending in with the terrain in the environment surrounding the Cybertruck, which kind of gives a lot more depth to the user interface. Like, oh, okay, the navigation is behind this. It's not as just cut and dry. It's just like, okay, this is the visualization section, here's the navigation section. It just kind of blurs all of that together. The Cybertruck settings, the controls, and the navigation are all kind of overlapping with themselves. Some people may not like it. Personally, I think the software looks gorgeous, but they did move kind of the navigation search bar down a little bit away from the driver, in my opinion. Maybe Tesla's figuring out that a lot of the time when you're just first getting in the car, maybe your wife or someone else in the passenger seat is plugging in the destination or what have you. And also, bizarrely, they have the tire pressure card right next to the navigation. I hope that's the kind of thing that you can customize. I don't think necessarily everybody needs to know their tire pressure at any given moment. And because there's pretty much only one display in the front of the Cybertruck, I think you should make best use of every square inch of that space. But yeah, you can also see your volume controls for the passenger seat as well. And the Cybertruck Woke has no Tesla logo on it. So originally, a lot of people thought that the Cybertruck would just borrow the yoke from the Model S or X, or maybe it would borrow the steering wheel from the Tesla Semi. In fact, there's been a handful of Cybertruck prototypes that had a normal steering wheel, but at least with this one, they ditched the Tesla logo on the center entirely and give it that classic Cybertruck angular triangle, the same icon that they put for the charging indicator on the charge port. So for the most part, it feels like there's almost no Tesla branding on the Cybertruck at all. Like if Tesla had to be broken up by some major government, the Cybertruck would be the most ready to kind of break off and become its own brand, its own lineup of cyber vehicles. You'll probably find a few Tesla logos though on the little corners of the glass pieces. But other than that, that's about it. We also have this very high quality shot of the Cybertruck frunk where you even see the little emergency release in case any of you were trying to kidnap people and put them in the frunk of your Cybertruck. It will not work. There's a glow in the dark little button that would release it, which would be kind of terrifying. Imagine driving that giant heap of metal down the highway and suddenly this big frunk opens up. Horrible for your aerodynamics, but I suppose good for the occupant inside, although they could roll out pretty easily. We also got another close-up of what looks like the Cybertruck setting page, where there's all of these different controls for the tonneau cover, as well as a button that likely releases the tailgate, which is kind of cool. You can just be in the driver's seat, and if you wanted to open the tailgate for, who knows, one of your Walmart delivery runs where you don't want to get out of your truck, but someone has to throw something in the bed, you can just open the tailgate straight from the driver's seat. Although that's probably the one thing that's not powered, it's not going to close itself. That's probably still still going to require either the person dropping off the groceries to close the truck, or you're going to have to close it. But I think that probably saves a lot of work anyway, because I feel like oftentimes if we're doing a little drop off and people are putting something in our trunk, I always have to explain to them, don't close it yourself. Everyone has that first instinct to just grab the hatch and close it themselves, and you're like, no, that wears out the actuators. Let me close it. I can close it from the screen on the car. So this kind of bypasses that of just like, yeah, just close the tailgate yourself. It's fine. It's not going to wear out anything. Also, we can see our suspension controls. So there's an easy entry mode, a high mode, and a low mode, as well as an option to fold your mirrors, although nowhere to be seen is necessarily the quick button for the powered frunk. The Cybertruck should be the first Tesla with an actual powered frunk, but I don't see the option for it in these pictures, although I'm sure it's there. We've seen videos, though, of the frunk automatically opening and closing, so we know that's going to be a feature. But the other bizarre thing missing from this interior shot that a lot of people may have not caught is there's actually no rear view mirror at the top, like there is on most Teslas, and I'm pretty sure that has to be optional, right? Because I'm fairly confident there's some laws requiring you to attach some kind of rear view mirror in the pickup truck, but obviously with the vault cover closed, it's going to be kind of pointless most of the time. You can't see out the back of the truck. And on the original Cybertruck prototype and on other vehicles like the Aptera, they plan on having an additional display up there that's just connected to a rear-facing camera, which kind of solves the problem of not being able to see out the back very easily. But so far, on none of the recent Cybertruck release candidates, we've seen another display up there. We've only seen a physical mirror or this setup where there's literally no mirror at all. And maybe Tesla will make it very easy to just take that out because they know a lot of the time it's going to be completely pointless. And there's probably a lot of states where it's legal to remove that mirror yourself, but they're not allowed to deliver it without it. That just kind of pushes the liability onto you. Well, we can't control what our customers modify to their vehicles, even though Tesla probably makes it very easy to remove, but it does make the whole interior view probably a lot more scenic. You can see a lot more. There's a lot less obstructions with that giant windshield, other than the massive cyber wiper. But we have seen some evidence that Tesla's probably going to accommodate for it with the Cybertruck user interface, bringing some kind of rear view camera that you can pin to the top of the display, which definitely will take some getting used to. I could see a lot of people not being used to looking on the screen for your rear view camera and your speed and having to interact with the display to change the direction of the car, plus that's your navigation, plus that's your media control. Yeah, like Tesla's getting a little bit overly confident with how many functions that main display can have. But the good news is this should be the largest display on any Tesla ever. So if you were going to combine a bunch of features and functions and put them on the display, it's the biggest one ever. That's the right way to do it. But don't take my word for it. If you're a fan or a hater of the Cybertruck design, the good news is Tesla seems to be putting these release candidates in various showrooms across the United States. There's one in San Jose. There's one, I think, coming to Tampa, Florida. There's one in New York City, and there's one in San Diego. So if you're nearby any of those showrooms, you can go check out the Cybertruck for yourself. I'm going to be trying to this weekend. I hope that they're still there. It's just Thanksgiving week. I got a lot of stuff going on, but I would love to have a video for you around this time next week detailing my first impressions after seeing the Cybertruck in person, because at least so far, I've yet to see one. I've been in the region. I've had friends spot one that are not too far away from me, but so far haven't seen one in the wild yet, but I'm feeling very confident that I will before the end of the year. What are you guys most excited for at the Cybertruck delivery event? What are you most disappointed by? All that stuff. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And thank you to everybody supporting this channel directly. Seriously, helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos. So thanks again. Have an excellent rest of your day.